together. We're on our way.
Hey everyone, welcome to Brick Vault. Today we are taking a closer look at this custom Lego MOC. It is the Snowspeeder. Now, technically, it's called the T-47 Airspeeder, but everybody knows this ship from the Battle of Hoth scene where they go toe-to-toe against the giant AT-ATs, and with the Snowspeeders, the rebels managed to inflict some pretty high damages against the Empire despite their odds. This original design came from the builder Bernard, and you can find the instructions to build this in both gray and white at our Lego web store, www.brickvault.toys. Check out the link in the description below. Included with each purchase is a PDF step-by-step instructions to build the model, as well as an XML parts list, which makes it much quicker and easier to upload the pieces for fast ordering. Also included is a small stand. I didn't have time to build it for the video, sorry about that. Now jumping back into the model, some of the major features of the Snowspeeder have a couple of very heavy cannons that stick out towards the front. That's not a good way to describe it. They pretty much are as long as the speeder itself. The cockpit features two pilots, one in the back that operates a tow cable, and the back has this large grate-like shape, which are actually called heat dispersion fins. In terms of its scale, I would say it might be just a little bit larger than Minifig Exact, but when you look at all of the different custom designs and the different sets that come out for the Snowspeeder that came from Lego Direct, you can see that just about everybody that takes a serious crack at designing this ship ends up building these speeders pretty much all at the exact same size. It's just sort of a natural way the parts work together. They just look good at this size, and you can see our custom MOC builds next to some of the Lego sets. You can see pretty quickly the proportional difference and just the accuracy of the angles and lines that match up towards the nose in the front, the fins in the back, and the slope of the wings. Now there's a few functional details that are applied to this model that I think are really, really fun, but there's something in this build that I think is special. I'm not sure if it exists on any other version of the Snowspeeder. I'll have to confirm that, but I'm pretty sure this is the only model where this is an actual function, and that is the fact that we've got an operational tow cable. And while many models do have the ability for the stringed tow cable to come out the back, Bernard did a really fun thing where the cable can wrap around on the inside so you don't have to see the string wound up on the rear, and there's a fun little gear that is tucked into the bottom where you can wind it up. So as far as I know, this is the only Snowspeeder that has a function that works quite like this. I think it's really clean. The gear itself, I think, looks really good on the model. It doesn't stick out in any obtuse way. And while we're looking at the bottom of the speeder, this is what the bottom looks like. It's actually been colored out quite nicely. The thicker orange lines in the back and the one going up the center do match up with how the Snowspeeder should be colored on the bottom. And now we are in the handling demonstration. It's a pretty solid build. The only weak part is sometimes the flap can bend a little bit. I mean, that's just the way we got the wonderful wedge design to look so accurate. But at the end of the day, nothing is really popping off. The main thing that I like about custom builds is, you know, they're not going to be quite as strong as regular play scale MOCs, but as long as you can casually handle the model, that is what I would consider a successful build, as long as, of course, you're holding true to the wonderful details and accuracy that a model like this has. Now moving on to the next main feature, the cockpit. Of course, we've got an interior that looks really nice. I really do like those hinge pieces that make the wall sort of along the sides of the cockpit, just on the inside. There's a lot of space for the pilots. Remember, this is just over minifig scale, so we have plenty of room for the minifigs on the interior, including joysticks and those 1x2 cheese wedge pieces with some detailing. Actually, the README file has gives you sort of the choice on what type of panel detailing you would want to flesh out to the inside of the build. And then, of course, our two pilots can fit inside relatively easily. They have a lot of space. It looks like they match up pretty well with all the controls that are set out in front of them, which I like a lot. not. Sometimes the interior control pieces are just sort of there for show and they won't match up with the minifigs at all. And that's pretty much it for the interior. On the shoulders of the speeder, you can see the flaps that open and close. Pretty simple bending function there. And then just for the fun of it, here is the speeder next to a few of the Rebel ships, just for a general scale. The Snowspeeder is pretty much the smallest ship that's used in combat within any of the movies. I'm pretty sure, don't quote me on that exactly. And then, of course, the Snowspeeder is pretty swooshable. Here it is next to our walkers, so it does scale pretty darn well, I would say. And then this is the speeder next to the Ultimate Collector Series Falcon. Pretty good size. And of course, we move on over to the Ghost. Phantom 2 is on the way. Here's the Snowspeeder and the TIE Fighter. Interesting that the TIE Fighters never made an appearance in the Battle of Hoth. Maybe it was the ion cannon taking out the Star Destroyers. Not totally sure. And I guess while we're making the rounds, we might as well show it off next to our Sandcrawler. Alright, that is it for the general size comparison. Remember, you can get the Snowspeeder in both gray and white. Gray is more accurate, but people really like the Snowspeeder in white. Even the Ultimate Collector Series speeder came in white very recently. And not quite yet, but very soon, I just got this update from Bernard, and it looks like he's working on a desert speeder. So if you want to get it in the desert colors, that's coming pretty darn soon. And with that, the instructions, remember, are available at our web store, www.brickvault.toys. It does help support the channel as well as the amazing designers that go into making these awesome mocks. And alright, if you've stuck around this long in the video, please leave a comment. Tell me what you think about the Snowspeeder. Also, what designs do you want to see us do in the future? And I think I've run out of things to say. I'm just going to keep talking until my voice fades away behind the door.